Hi, everybody. Happy 1/11. And today we're here to celebrate the book launch for my good friend Jen Palko. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for asking me to host this for you. I was like really honored because I'm so proud of you. And this has been a long time dream. And yeah, the day is finally here. So thanks for letting me be a part of it. So in just a minute, Jen is going to join us and we're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about, we have a couple of giveaways and yeah, so sit back. I don't know, wherever you guys are from, if it's not too early, enjoy a drink or pour yourself a nice cup of coffee or tea and just, join us. Jen is here now.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
How are you?
Welcome. Good. And how are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Happy
Doing great.
1/11.
Yes, happy 1/11.
And
It's a
happy
special
book
day.
launch.
Yes.
It absolutely is. I was just telling everyone, yes, of course, I'm so honored that I get to be a part of your special day because this is a dream of yours and it's coming true.
Definitely.
The day
Definitely
is
is.
here.
Yes, it's a party. It
Launch
is a
party. I know
party.
I just said if, depending on where everyone's tuning in from, and you can let us know below. Hey, Crystal. If it's not too early, pour yourself a glass of wine or nice cup of tea.
Or a
And
glass of
sit
water,
back.
whatever you want.
What your beverage? I actually just have a grapefruit bubbly here.
Oh, there you go.
Um,
A buble.
yeah, it's so good. But yeah, and just get comfortable and ask. Yay, hi, Brandy.
Yeah, thank you
I
everybody for joining. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and so. I mean, yes, first of all, as I said, I'm so proud of you. And it is for everyone listening the 12-step book for the self-help addict
12-step
and
guide for the self-help book addict. Yep.
guide. I knew I was going to, I'm
Yep.
like,
I
wait,
got it right here.
there
There you
it
go.
is. And so how did this, I know we've talked a little bit about this before, but how did it all
Yeah.
start? What inspired you? As I said, this is a dream of yours. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to write a book ever since I was little, and I don't know what it was, just something like I would just fantasize about having a book with my name on the front, and it wasn't something that I really like tried that hard to do. Like I didn't grip on to anything or be like, okay, I'm going to write a book like right now, and it just kind of came about. It was a process of coming about, and it was funny because I thought of the title for the book before the actual contents. What I was doing, I was going to, I honestly, I wrote most of this book at the Barnes and Noble Cafe. I
Nice.
was, I'll be honest, like I had just kind of lost a lot of hours at a job I really loved. And for me, I would go and I would write at least probably 3 or 4 times a week. And I set a goal for myself to write 10 pages a day. If it didn't happen every day, I didn't stress about it. It wasn't like, oh, I need to get this done. It was more a journaling process that turned into a book. And, like I said, I would go and I would write and just whatever thoughts would come down. I didn't say, okay, this is going to be this chapter or this, part of this book. But one day it clicked on me and I thought of the name of the book or something along those lines. I was working in the addiction field, so I was familiar with the 12-step program. And I was like, you know what? I want to take those 12 steps and I want to turn them into a book for a self-help book addict because I've been one myself. When I first found, I know you and I have talked a lot about the law of attraction. When I
Yeah.
first saw the movie and I started just buying every single book about it that I could find, I was like obsessed with it. And, they're all saying the same stuff. And, I'd buy a lot of other self-help books. And before you know it, I had like whole bookshelf full of books, but like
Yeah.
nothing was really changing. It was like they make you feel good. They give you that high. And it's like, that's what I want to write about in this book because I think things like, I shouldn't mention it, so The Secret.
Oh, I know. We might get flagged.
Yeah, we talked about it in another live we did, and I don't know, it didn't work out, or we couldn't save it, or it
You
just like
mentioned it
disappeared.
one too
It
many
went poof.
times, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't let you save the
So
recording.
so a particular movie came out,
Yeah, just
and where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was talking
oh,
about, okay, how it's like this glossy, sugar-coated
right,
thing.
right, right, right.
And, I think while self-help books are great and they're the first step to changing your life, I think there's also this toxicity involved if you're not careful, because you can get addicted to books and you can read them and they can give you that high of feeling good that something is going to happen for you in the future. But if you don't really take action and you don't do anything about it now, then you're just going to read and read and read and read, and it's always going to be up here, and it's never going to be in your physical surroundings. So that is what I wanted to write about, and what I wanted to really portray in this book as being an important thing. So I don't, sugarcoat anything. I break it down, like why we become addicted and why it can be toxic, and just from more of an authentic place instead of the quick fix type thing. So that's kind of where it came about. I thought of the title, and then I had a lot of things that I had written, a lot of journals, like 6 or 7 journals that I had down, and I decided to chapter them out and tab them and see where I think they would fit, and it eventually turned into a book. So, yeah.
That's yes.
Thank you guys for joining. I know you guys are all
Yes.
typing. I'm going to have to go back and look at all
Hi,
your.
everybody.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. It's a party.
Latte.
And just absolutely so true. We have, I think it's just a habit as humans to consume more than we create. We just consume,
Absolutely.
and we get like it's almost like a shiny object syndrome too, where you see like these titles of the books and the movies, and all of a sudden time goes by and your shelves are full, but nothing, just like you said, nothing has changed.
Right.
So
I actually used
totally
to
relate.
I wouldn't buy a book if it had too many like worksheets in it, books where you have to actually take action and write stuff down. And I wouldn't buy a book because it's like I was addicted. I just wanted to read about it. I just wanted it to make me feel good and feel like, oh yeah, my life is definitely going to change. This is the book. This is the book that's going to change my life. And then it was like the next week, this is the book. No, this is the book, and then and then before you know it, you have a shelf full of like dusty books. So I feel like a lot of people can relate to that.
A lot, including me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, and that just kind of like, if you take a step back and kind of look within, you realize that, you were avoiding wanting to do the work. And
right.
Courses, I learned something that somewhere around like 80 to 90% of people who take courses don't complete them. And I'm pretty
so
willing
they make a lot of money.
Yeah, and I'm pretty willing to bet that people like kind of let it drop off when they come to a worksheet.
It's so true when it gets hard. Yeah.
And they're going to watch a video if the video is part of it, or read your content and maybe take some notes even. But as soon as they flip it and there's a worksheet for them to do, and it just becomes kind of like, and that goes back to, like you said, people wanting a quick fix and not wanting to do the work. And unfortunately, I always say this, it doesn't have to take years and years, but it does involve honest work. You have to, and you have to take action. So
absolutely.
And you'd be deliberate in that.
Yeah, and if you're not, you have to look at why. Why aren't you taking action? What are you scared of? I mean, for most of us, it comes from a fear-based approach or some. Right, we're scared of failure, right? Because we don't want to come down off that high. We don't want to feel bad because we felt it in the past. So, I talk about that a lot in the book with our subconscious mind, and I break it down, why, the truth behind like why we feel that way, because I've been there myself, plenty of times. So I want to relate to people. I want people to relate to what I have to say, and that, it's something that you can do. You already have it, but you're on a different level with it. You're on a different vibration with it. And you have to
Yeah.
look at why are you on a lower vibration and what it is that,
You're
you're trying to
protecting.
manifest into your reality. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, your ego mind always wants to protect you,
Yeah,
and you don't want to take risks. That prevents you from like wanting to take a risk because you're afraid of failure. You don't want it. Then
absolutely.
you're coming down from that high. You're reading the book. You're on that high that this is amazing, and then yeah. Then all of a
You're
sudden
feeling,
you have to do the
yeah.
work, and it's like, or yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
or you go
just
through withdrawal symptoms, right? You feel bad about yourself. It's like once
yes,
that high wears
yes.
off and the reality of your life, not to be like the reality of your life is so bad, but if you're truly trying to change something and you're just like I said, reading about it and not putting anything into it, to change it or not going out of your comfort zone ever, then things are going to kind of stay the same, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the ego does
Uh,
hold us back. Yep.
and ego, yeah, and that's why it's just so funny too that like in some ways people like we're so conservative about money, but in other ways we're so ready to just keep throwing our money at something new. It's like that's going
It's
to be
ironic.
that's going to be the
Yeah,
book, that this is going to be the course, like this one's too
yeah,
much work, so they're looking for like a new, something new. And
right.
yes, and
Yeah, and it's all a mindset. It is.
yep, and
It's got to come from internally. It can't come from outside of us. We can't think that something outside of us is going to fulfill our need.
exactly.
It's because then what are you projecting out? You're projecting out that there's a void inside somewhere, that you're lacking something. So you're not going to be on the same page with it.
Yeah, you're not absolutely. And then I was just reading the messages real quick here. Correct. 80 to 90% of courses taken are not finished. And yeah, Brandy said do worksheets. They're fun. Actually, yeah, you have to make it fun. See,
I don't
that's
think they're fun, but to each their
well,
own.
yeah, it and it's like it is funny because every course does give homework
Right.
and even some books and everything, but it's it's how you look at it. You can try to make it fun.
Yeah, and
um
it is ironic that we're
ego's
so,
holding
like you said, conservative about money, but then it's like, okay, we'll
them.
drop $1,000 on a course or hundreds of dollars on, books over the course of
And
time. Yeah.
I've been there, and I know many people that have. Yeah, and that's why this
Yep.
book that you wrote is so great, because this is the book you should get. We're talking about all these different but like it's about taking action and like you said, looking within. So it's much
Yeah.
needed, and I hope it helps because again, a lot of people can relate to this. And I think, yeah, if you've taken one course, you've probably taken more than one. And, um,
Hmm.
you have to ask yourself, just like you said, like, why am I avoiding wanting to do that worksheet?
Right.
What's holding me back? Okay. And then acknowledging that ego mind that always holds you back, and, saying this no longer
Yeah.
serves me. Like your things happen outside of your comfort zone is what it comes down to. And yes,
Yeah.
and Dennis said it's all a
So,
mindset.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's about awareness and perception. So once
Hmm.
you're aware of why you're thinking the way you're thinking or doing the same things over and over, that's the first step. And then,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's about changing how your perception is of the world and of your reality.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. And do you want to talk? I guess we could talk now about the giveaway, and I just want
Sure.
to
Whatever
mention a
you want to
couple
do.
things,
Yes.
and then yeah, more questions that people have, but whatever,
Absolutely.
just go with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do want people to know about that. So, and then you have to just remind me how we're doing it again. It's
Well, the first thing is
I've never done it before, so I
I'm
want
doing
to.
the signed book giveaway. So this is for anybody who had previously signed up for my mailing list. I know I've been promoting it for a little
Yeah.
bit now. So I have a bag. Should I just go for it now? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
So I have a
I
bag of
guess.
names here in this little, my St. Jude's bag, and I'll just pick one. And whether or not you may not be on this call, but that's okay. I'm gonna put the replay up, and I'll get in touch with whoever wins. So
Okay, it's that. I don't know why I thought it was more. There was more to it than that. Like,
Well,
just
the next giveaway, there'll be a little bit more, and that's what
okay,
people on this call have a chance to. So I'm just going to do the book
gotcha.
giveaway here, my little bag of tricks. And whoever is the lucky winner may or may not be on this call, but that's okay. Mix it up. All right. Now this is totally random. I promise you. Totally random. All right. The winner is of a signed copy of my book is, oh, look at that. Tara Aldridge. Tara. I don't know. Is Tara on this call? I think she was going to be on this call. If she's not, congratulations, Tara. I'm going to get in touch with you and figure out how to send you a copy of that. Awesome. Cool. And then the next giveaway is we're doing a sun giveaway. So I don't know, do you want to explain a little bit your experience with the sun community? So basically the sun community is it's a group of mission-oriented, passion-driven entrepreneurs. We have this platform that Laura's a part of. I'm the operations director for. And it's a platform of just entrepreneurs who are all with the same mindset. They want to make a difference in the world. And what we're giving away today is a VIP business membership. So you'll have access to courses and tutorials. We do monthly masterminds, Q&As. We have experts from the field come in on the platform. And it's really an awesome community, especially right now, because a lot of people need that, especially if you have any kind of business, just to keep you going and support and positive community around you. And I just kind of explained it for you, but if you want to add anything, your experience, being on the platform, go ahead.
Yeah, I know you did a great job of explaining it, but I mean, amazing people. And, I've been wanting to manifest my soul tribe. I mean, this is all such a great journey. And, but I felt like I was doing it alone, with the everything, starting my business, and
It'd be hard, yeah.
and it's just funny how, I mean, it's no coincidence. So, but it's funny how everybody, like, you came back, like, we reconnected, and then
we did.
Through you,
yeah.
I found the sun, and I just found everybody I needed in the perfect timing. And, and that's an example of how the universe works. Everything, works in divine timing and as it should. And, when things do happen, then it just makes me realize and look back and like, that's why it hasn't happened before. Like, it was meant to come together now. And so I'm really grateful for everyone in the group. But it's great because, for spiritual entrepreneurs, there's so many people in the group with different talents. We all have the same goal. And that's even, just we're trying to make the world a little bit brighter through our businesses. Our businesses are an extension of our soul. And in this group, I've always believed that. And that's how I feel about my business. And so that's how, I feel like everyone connects on that level. So there's so many different talented people with different things that they bring to the group, different products, techniques. That's, again, all about like raising the vibration. Yeah. But all different modalities of having that same thing. And there is no competition. Everyone works together. And that's how it should be, because there is no piece of the pie for people. Like, I mean, the abundance, there's limitless abundance. And so everyone, that's how it just works out. Like, we come together very nicely. So I'm learning so much from all of you guys, all of the different techniques of ways you can raise your vibration, different techniques with marketing, because we've got marketing help, we've got technical help. So it's not just the spiritual end, it's all of it. And the VIP is great. Like, I mean, we have the Zoom calls, we have Q&As, and where other people's strengths are, my weaknesses, you got to spend time trying to build your strengths. And, that's where community and teamwork comes in, because other people can, you just kind of fill in for each other, where the other one is weak, the other one is strong. And, that way we don't have to go crazy. Like, for me, it's the technical stuff and all of the background
that goes into it. That goes into the business. Yeah.
It's fun. But now I feel I'm not alone.
Yeah,
and
so
there's
yeah, it's a
support.
really a great community. So we're doing a giveaway today, one VIP business membership. If you are interested, because not everybody here obviously has a business or may not be interested at all. So just type in the Sun, S-U-N, if you're interested, and then I guess at the end we'll pick, or we're going to tally the names,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you want to write them down, or I'll write them down. Doesn't matter, whatever
Yeah,
you think.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you tell me what to do.
If you want to
And
write whoever's name down, if they're interested, and then we'll choose. Eeny, meeny, miny,
yeah,
mo.
yeah, that works for me. I had to go. Yeah, let me grab paper again. Um, but yeah, we'll do it that way. And if anyone has questions, I mean, I was just thinking too, I wanted to ask you about the process of writing the
Sure.
book, the process itself. Um, because obviously it's not just easy to just, you know, I'm sure, I don't like to call it writer's block, but I'm sure you've had some kind of, there's days where you just did not feel like doing anything.
Months.
And then you get to the point where you're at, like, I'm sure the publishing phase, and there's probably a lot of setbacks or discouragement, but you push through it. And that's really amazing because, again, a lot of people, they get too scared. They don't want to be disappointed and failure, and they
Right.
give up. So did you find those things very difficult to like overcome is what my
Honestly,
question
not
is.
honestly not really, and you know why? Because I never gripped to it. I never attached. Writing a book has always been something that I wanted to do, but it was never something I had to do. And this is
Yeah, I
where
like
what I
that.
say it's the law of attraction in at work. I
Yes.
manifested a book because I didn't grip so tightly to it. I had the intention, I set the intention to do it, and I put
Mm-hmm.
the wheels into motion, which a lot of
Yes.
people don't do
You
because their
have to
head gets in
take,
the way. They
yeah.
feel overwhelmed, so they don't even start. But it froze out. Oh, there you are. It's like, and I sent an email out this morning, posts about how it seemed like a mountain, right, at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anything in life. If something you want to do seems so out of reach or out of touch, unattainable to you, it seems like a mountain. But once you start climbing the mountain, over time, as you keep putting the wheels in motion and you're not gripping so much to it and you're not in your head so much about it, and you keep that intention, just forward movement, and just doing what I did, right, 10 pages a day, and it flourishes and it turns into something. And then you look behind you and you realize how far you've come, and that the top of that mountain is really not that far. So it was the process of just taking it step by step, just writing. That's the first step. Anybody who wants to write a book, just start writing anything.
Just start.
Get
And the
that
universe, I
down.
always say the universe loves action. The
Yeah,
universe recognizes action. But just like we were talking about with doing the work behind anything, you have to take action and you have to
yeah.
just start, set the wheels in motion. The universe will meet you halfway. I promise if you have the right, And the other thing is, when you were talking, I love that attitude about, you know, you wanted it to happen, but it didn't have to happen. That's
Right.
like,
And I didn't put a
that's a
time limit on it.
key.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's even better. And, it's a fine line sometimes. Like you want to have clear intentions and they always say,
yeah.
make a deadline. But I don't believe that you should be. I hated doing that, like writing down a date that something needed to manifest by. And the reason why is because it happens when it should, in divine timing, is with everything else. And that's not necessarily up to me or what I quite know. And
But I did write down the date. So yeah, it depends what you're
did
doing, but
you?
I did write down dates. And I forgot about it. That's the key. I
Ooh,
forgot
and
about it. I wrote down the dates because I
yeah,
wasn't so rigid. It was,
yeah,
yeah, I was going through some of my old journals because I would, write down goals that I wanted for the year or something like that.
absolutely. Hmm.
And it did actually, I'm just thinking that it did actually manifest. I forget what I put. I said, finish book by, oh shoot, what was it?
Oh,
I
how
don't know, but
cool.
I finished the book before my deadline, and
Great.
so I did make a deadline. I wish I would have thought of that before, so I could actually pull it out and see what the date actually was, because it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
damn close. It was pretty damn close to what what came about, like how the book, obviously you're under the discretion of like a publisher and things like that, and going back and forth with edits.
Yeah, in that
But
case, you do have
but
deadlines,
I
but
did set a deadline, but it
that's
was
cool.
loose. So
Yeah,
it was like, I would like to have this done by, but if it doesn't, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to stop everything if it doesn't happen. It was a loose.
exactly.
I wasn't rigid about it. So,
Yeah,
so that's definitely key. But I did write down dates initially. So it was somewhere in here
it
and
was.
somewhere in the back of my brain, but I didn't attach to it because it wasn't at the forefront, but it
Let
was
that be
there.
an example to you guys. We just talked about this in the vision board workshop, how you have to plant the seed and let it go and not obsess over it and dig it up or overwater it, because you're creating resistance. And that's like exactly what you did. You wrote down a date, you forgot about it, you let it go, you
Yeah.
put it out there. But that's the
Or
whole key.
you break it down, or you set the dates broken down. Okay,
Yeah. And if
I
you're
want to have a
making, yeah.
manuscript typed by a certain date or something,
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of making it like this huge thing. Once you break it down into smaller steps, it's easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
And and don't get me wrong, because I'm not saying not to do that. And that's awesome that you did. But just don't, right. It's all about holding on to it loosely. Like, you know, like you just don't want to place so much around that expectation that everything depends on it, and
Right.
because it came close and you didn't like obsess over it because you didn't even
Yeah.
really remember that you
You
wrote
look
down the
back and you're
date.
say, oh, that did happen.
So as
Okay.
long as
Yeah.
you can write the intention, you can, especially like that's what I was going to say too, especially if you're working with a
Our winner just
publisher.
joined.
Oh, hey, congratulations.
Tara just joined. Tara Aldridge, you're the winner of the signed copy. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to mention
No, that's
that
fine.
she joined.
Congratulations. No, but that's all I was saying, is that you just have to like hold on to these things loosely, write down the intentions, and then especially, that's what I was gonna say, especially if you have like a publisher or something, you obviously have deadlines that you have to meet when you're working with someone, but just don't, like with all of your desires, don't put a date on everything, and then
Yeah.
if it doesn't happen by that date, you're frustrated and think it's not going to happen at all, and then
Yeah.
it will. And
And Brandy said, I'm a writer. I find that the morning time is
morning
when I get the
time.
most inspiration to write. So that's when I do most of it for the day. Yes, Brandy, I 100% agree. I would write, like if I was at home. When I used to go and write like elsewhere, it was always in the morning. And then now when I write, it has to be like first thing in the morning, to be honest, because that's when
You're
your
fresh, you
brain
wake
is
up.
just, you're
Mhm.
fresh, yeah, for inspiration. Honestly, I can't really remember last time I really wrote an afternoon, or I mean, I haven't been writing a lot right this moment because like I'm just working on everything else right now, but I will get back to it, and it will be like first thing in the morning when I wake up. That'll probably be the time.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
actually really funny, because I even told Brandy, as we've had this conversation, I am the total opposite. My inspiration comes at night. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
Interesting.
I'm not like, I don't stay up like super late and sleep in super late by no means. But it's like compared to some people, I mean, I'm up between 8 and 9. So yeah, it's not like really early,
That's
but
late for me, yeah.
yeah. But I'm
But I go
also
to bed
awake.
early,
I'm
yeah.
awake before that, and I wake up. I always express gratitude every morning. I think about things, and then I, write down some stuff, some intentions for the day. Then I get out of bed. So by the time I get out, like it's always by 9. But
Hmm.
that is late for some people. But you know, between like after dinner and between then and when I go to bed, which is like between like 11 and midnight, that's when I get my most inspiration, and I
Interesting.
post the most between those times, just because that's when I feel inspired to do so. But I'm
Yeah.
appreciating the difference, because I wish
Yeah,
I
it
was
goes
a
to show
morning.
how different we are. So
Yeah,
like
and I
do
wish,
things your own way,
yeah,
whatever
because
resonates with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get the same results,
Hmm.
but go with what feels right. And I know, yeah, you have things that, responsibilities during the day, that things, sometimes that actually, maybe I would be more of a morning or a day writing person if I wasn't doing other things. But regardless, if you have the time, follow, like, do what feels right. Because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you weren't motivated, I mean, you probably didn't have much like inspiration, like, I mean,
Right.
if you were writing at all. And again, I hate to call it writer's block, but well, actually, that's a question
That's what it
too.
is. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
have writer's block?
Yeah, I still do. I mean, I would go
We all do
really
to a degree.
like months without writing. I just didn't
Yeah.
feel like it. And I think a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
who write experience that.
Yeah.
And that's okay because like you're doing other things or you're
And that's okay. That's the
maybe
point.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, you have to kind of go with the flow of the universe and your life and what kind of you're being guided to do. So, anybody who has a creative block who's trying to force it, we all know like that never works. Or
Exactly.
whatever we come up with kind of isn't really that good. I
Yes.
have days where I do like YouTube videos and it's just like forcing myself to do it and then it's like not that good. But when you feel that bit of inspiration, it's like you need to jump on that and it's okay, just because you're a writer or just because you're, I don't know, whatever field you're in doesn't mean that every day is going to be peachy or going to be easy. Like you're going to have days where you feel totally unmotivated or blocked, and you just kind of have to go with it, but don't dwell on it. Know that, okay, tomorrow maybe I will feel more inspired, or, maybe that's just not what I'm meant to do today. And maybe that means that I should work on something else, that I've been
Yeah.
putting on the back burner, maybe I'm
Yeah.
being called to do that right now. So, the more we stress about these things and the more we hold on to them and the more we attach to them, the less it's not easy, the more struggle we have through life. It's like walking through mud rather than just allowing things to kind of come with you. And when you feel inspired, I always carry like a little, when I go out in my purse or by my bedstand, I have like a little notebook. So sometimes in the middle of the night, I get an inspiration or I get something, an idea for a video or an idea for something,
Oh my
and I write
God.
it down.
Yes. Yes.
It comes at the weirdest times. But when you try and sit down and you force it, sometimes it's
Yes.
really, really hard, especially if
It's
you're more in your right brain.
it's almost impossible. And that was my point,
Yeah.
was that it's okay. Like, I don't know anyone who's written a book in less than like several months to years, because
Hmm.
you don't write every day. I mean, if you do, great, but humans just, we don't work
Yeah.
like that. Especially, it depends on our human design. Some work harder and longer hours than other designs, and that's like a whole other thing. But you need to listen to yourself, and
Hmm.
when you self-care, that's necessary so that you can create more content, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you're not helping yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself and allowing yourself to rest and get re-inspired, people are going to
Absolutely.
notice. And you'll notice, like you said, when you look back on those, which YouTube videos like you weren't feeling it versus the ones that you were more like aligned. And yeah,
Yeah,
you just
absolutely.
have to let
100%.
it. Yeah. And another thing that I loved, the other day I was talking to a friend and we did a podcast recording. It's coming out soon, but she was saying that when if a door doesn't open, it's not your door. But if it's meant for you, like, nothing will ever pass you by that's meant for you. So that's why, again, holding on to that loosely, but understanding that if it really wasn't your door, then it wouldn't open. But I feel honestly that if, desires are put in your heart for a reason. So if you desire something that much, like, you just have to trust that it's going to happen.
Hmm.
And things happen, like you said, walking through mud rather than letting it flow. Things need to happen. They will happen through the path of least resistance. So that's how the universe will deliver to you, through whatever is the easiest, whatever is your most unblocked way. So
Yeah, it may not be the
that's
way that you
why,
think, but we were
exactly.
talking about that this
But
morning, yeah,
yeah,
about,
yeah,
yeah.
but it will happen. Your book got published. It may have been a journey that you didn't see how it was going to work out, but it did. And yeah, I mean, that's just
Yeah, it
amazing.
was weird. If COVID didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have a book right next to me right now.
Wow. Yeah, I
So
mean,
I'm not saying that it was a good thing, but I'm saying that
good.
things work very mysteriously and things work very, odd,
Yeah.
odd
Oh yeah, and
sometimes.
you
But
took
yeah,
advantage as best you could, and you took action, and you could have not done anything, and just nothing would have changed.
yeah,
But you just started writing, just like you said, and here
yeah,
we are,
action. Yep.
beginning of 2021, on a pretty magical day, and yeah, now your book is out there. So should I take, okay, so I'm going to scroll up real quick too, because I was going to say, speaking of which, I should take down the names
I
of,
don't know if anybody, I
but I
mean, we
don't know
have
if
people on
anybody,
here who are actually on the sun already, so there's no worries.
true.
Does
All
anybody have
right,
any
guys.
questions for
Yeah.
me, for Laura, anything before we?
Or, yeah, if you want the giveaway. But again,
Yeah, it may not be
no, who's,
business owners here. So anybody who just joined, we're doing a giveaway for the Sun community,
Crystal said
which
I think so many
is,
people joined.
yeah, I think join Nicola.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Brandy, absolutely, we need to make sure everyone knows how to get a copy of your book. Oh, and
All
Crystal
right,
said,
real
all right,
quick, we'll just
yeah, okay.
re-mention the Sun so that people have time. So
Oh,
the
and
Sun is a community
questions
of
too.
mission-driven entrepreneurs who we're giving away one free VIP business membership. So you have access to our platform, which is I'm the operations director, our founder, Crystal Sun's on this call. Laura is also a member now, and you'll have access to courses, tutorials, especially business consultant. We do monthly calls. We do mastermind calls, Q&As. We have experts from the field. So it's a really awesome opportunity. If anybody is a business owner here or has an online business, I highly, highly, highly recommend this platform or take advantage of this because it's a high value ticket for one, but it's really awesome experience, and then you get to connect with like-minded individuals and all that. So
It's
if you
been
are interested,
amazing.
just type
Yeah.
in the Sun in the little chat box here, and then we'll choose a name out of a hat or whatever towards the end. But we got some questions
Yes.
here. How do we get a copy? So the book is available on Amazon and also barnesandnoble.com. It's also on some other retail platforms. I'm going to I posted on my social media, and it's also going to be on my website. So, if you're on my Instagram, if you're on my Facebook, then you'll have the links there. But you could also search for it, and I'm going to update my website with the links and all that stuff. So
I'll put
you'll
it
definitely have a
too.
chance.
Yeah. Well, this will be recorded. So anyone who's just joining us late, you can watch the replay where we talk about the book, and
Did I ever?
I'll put everything for you too. Yeah. So they can find it
Yeah.
too.
And Tara asked, did I ever think of giving up on the book? Honestly, I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't stress about it. I probably did. Like there were days where, um, yeah, I probably did, Tara, because I wrote stuff out and then it was like, oh, now I have to like type it all because I'm old school. So I write everything out, handwrite it, and then type it. And yeah, there were definitely days where I'm like, this is crap. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna configure this into one cohesive thing. So yeah, definitely a days where that, but not that many. It was just kind of like a forward progression, and it wasn't. There were probably some weeks that I didn't work on it, as much that I wanted because I didn't feel as motivated to do it. So yeah, what brought me back into motivation? Probably that initial intention, that, and I really love the title. So I really want to make this
I do
work,
too.
I really want to create a book of this story based off of what I've been through, my own life experiences, and be able to share that with other people, and also give any kind of advice that I can on just shifting your reality and shifting your perception on your reality. Because I think that's really important, and it's something that, right now a lot of people don't, they're kind of like narrow focused, and they don't realize how many possibilities or how many things and doorways and openings there are outside of just you know, it's like having horse blinders on, right? So, so I wanted to bring that to light. I felt it was important.
Awesome. I write mine too. All right. And then the world. Yes,
Oh, thank you,
absolutely.
Brandy.
That's what I totally, yeah, the world does need this book. And yeah, and you know what, even if I don't think you would have had, like, say, you know, like I said, if a door is not for someone, you know, don't stress over it, because there are so many more open doors.
Right.
So I think even if you didn't finish this, you wouldn't have any regrets, but we're so glad that you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Well, thank you,
Thanks,
Laura. This was
guys.
awesome. Thank you, everybody who joined
Yay.
today. I don't think we have anybody for our second giveaway, but that's okay. No biggie. If you guys are interested, contact
Yeah, just
Crystal's son on
message.
this call. Yep. Or message Laura or myself, and we'll, you know, give you more information on it. And yeah, so
I hope you
thank
had
you
a good
guys.
party.
Laura, you have anything else you wanted to add? Yeah, this was awesome. 111. It's a special day.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just I'm super excited. Yes,
If I
finally.
had champagne, I would, you know, have a glass, but I don't have any in the house. So.
Yeah, well, virtual. I know I left my my
Just some
bubbly, my grape
agua for your
my grape
buble.
my grapefruit bubbly, which is
How
just
is bubbly?
carbonated.
It's good?
It's really good. I don't
Yeah.
normally like, you know what it is? Because I love grapefruit flavored stuff, and
Yeah.
the other ones like lose, like they get flat so fast. The grapefruit like
Oh,
sodas.
yeah, they lose the
And this one
carbonation.
has, yeah, it's just carbonated water with grapefruit. It's
Hmm.
natural flavor, and yeah, there's no added stuff. So I like it a lot. And actually, the grapefruit must be everyone's favorite because it's hard to get at the store. So every time I see it, I stock up. And I have yet to, if anyone knows where I can get the grape, I've been looking for it, and can't find the grape bubbly
Anybody
anywhere.
internationally
If
on the
anyone
call?
knows where I can get grape, hey,
Ship some over to Laura, please.
yeah, you know,
Desperate.
I wanted to manifest. I heard. I don't know if you've heard of this. I'll just say real quick. This is kind of off topic, but if you have you heard of Clubhouse yet? The app.
Clubhouse. I think
It's
so.
like,
Oh,
yeah, it's
I
like
don't
TikTok,
know.
but not
Oh,
dancing. It's
okay.
like talking and people listening to influencers. And, you know, it started like, I heard like the buzz about it, and you
Yeah.
have to, it's invite only. So I wanted to manifest it. And so I just put it out there like I just did with the Great Bubbly. And I got like 2 invites. So I was like, all right,
Nice.
that
There you
works.
go.
So I was
Yeah,
like, all right, I
cool.
manifested that too. Actually, yeah, I'll let you know how that is. And I'm saying it because, you know, if I'm sure they're doing like invite only now, but soon it's going to be open up to the public, and you can get it now by invite and listen to.
Hmm.
I will let everyone know when I know more. But
Yeah, I never heard of it.
yeah,
I'll have to
it
look it
just
up.
might be,
Cool.
yeah, it might be one of those things. I'll invite you if I get an invite. We can
Okay.
check it out together. But anyway, but absolutely. But yeah, like I said, virtual toast. And
Yes,
when we do finally get to see each other in person again, we'll do a real toast.
absolutely.
But thank you.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'll make sure. Oh, only Apple. Okay, side
Okay.
note, only
All right.
Apple
There's a
users
lot of
can
Apple
get
users
access to
out there, so
Clubhouse.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad I switched back to Apple then, because yeah, I missed it. So over the summer I came back to Apple. But anyway, yeah, so what I was going to say, I will link everything so that everybody can find your book and order it. I can't wait to read it.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you, everybody. I truly, truly appreciate it. And yeah, cool.
Take care. Have a good day. We'll
All
talk to you
right.
soon.
You too. Take care, everybody.